You know, mate. Now, when you start playing around chainsaws and porting them, getting more power of them, it's sort of like a choose your own adventure. I don't know if you guys can remember that. Back in the 80s, I used to love the books. So you'd I'm going to the doorway. Do you go through the doorway, go to page 22, or if you try to go down the stairs, go to page 24. It was a book that would make you either die or live longer, or just an adventure. It was called, that was before computers, just imagination and stuff like that. So I just thought it was an adventure. So I could go and do lower transfers, for example. I could grind out this, but I decided to choose my own adventure. So what I'm going to do today is pop-up piston high, as it's sitting there, no wrist pins, no more, yes warning, it's just sitting there. So it was doing squish. So see the way your piston sits in the bore, or the case should say. See that arrow, this one here is sitting centralised in the piston, so I'll zoom. See the way it's facing dead forward? It's square, in other words. Now I've got a piston here that shows you it's not always the case. Now I'll try and line the gudgeon pin up, the wrist pin. The wrist pin to me is about there. So you see how the arrow is nowhere near square, it's pointing to, 11 o'clock on the clock face. So be aware that the arrows aren't always right. So what I'm going to do is mark this piston with 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock, so I can work out where I can tattoo this piston and get my angles and then all correct, alright. So I'll mark that out now. Tap that off. So I left the wrist pin bearing in there. I'll cover it up in a sec. But I'll work on the bench. It's easier for me. It's easy to be artistic and get yourself lined up. But make sure you know where your arrow is or where 12 o'clock is. So 12 o'clock for me will be that arrow right on the edge there. So I'll mark that up. And if you want to know, this piston that I've shown you that's offset is a FS85. It's a steel for a small wheels and stuff like that. So it's only a small motor. But yeah, just so that you guys understand where that came from. Spare parts. Always good to carry spare parts. I highly recommend cleaning the surface of the piston. Be a brake cleaner. Wipe her over. Just so you can draw in there with your texture. It'll stick to it. It's always better to have a clean working area. Let it dry naturally. Then beautiful piston. High. Nice. Big bore. So one of these sides will get this, and the other one will not. Clean. Right. They're marked. So find the easy way to do this. Get your rings. Pop in your cylinder. With your piston might go upside down. Preferably, if piston can go upside down, it works good, but it don't. It's too tight. Very tight. I use the rings just to stop the piston from moving. But you weigh one ring really. I'll put two there because the piston's quite a heavy one. So we'll put the piston facing the exhaust, where it should be. The arrow. We'll slide that down. Nice tight. Now I want to get the bottom dead center. There's there. And check out, I can't see, so I'm going to go down below where the upper transfers are so I can see them on the piston. Bring up when I see them. Choosing my own adventure. Rotate your piston until it's square in the bore where it should naturally sit. I think that's right. I'll double check all this, probably do it myself in real life. That's pretty good. So you can see that there, I'll zoom you in. So what I'm trying to achieve is get the light. I see them like that in their piston, the upper transfers, so I know where they squirt fuel and air over the piston. So we'll work out where that sits. And once I know where that is, I can pull the piston out, and mark on the piston where the fuel line goes. So I've got 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock's come off already. Mungle. Remark that. It's a permanent marker. So I did that. So I can work out where the upper transfers flow, angle where they have to go. So I'll get a rule and I'll start making my lines up. Because I know, go to your sink, put water down your lower transfers and watch the water come out your upper transfers and mark that on your piston the same. So it's a reflection of where the fuel comes out and washes over your piston. And you want to do exactly the same, and that way you have a more uniform flow. You're more uniform both sides means more power. So I'm trying to make sure that the fuel stays more towards the intake side for that split second. And if I'm going to get 2, 3, 4% extra power by doing a tattoo, it's worth doing it. So if I got an extra 5%, I'd be really happy. But that's why I'm doing one saw and not the other. So Farmertech won't get it, but Neatech will get it. And I haven't done a big one, I've done it on a small motor. And a small motor, there's a noticeable difference. So I can't say there's no difference this one. There should be a noticeable difference. There's more power. Because most of the fuel, or some of the fuel, gets blown out the exhaust when you get your charge. This is the way these two-stroke motors work. But yeah, I'll mark this out and I'll show you. Might as well explain. Looking in the sink when I was in the house the other video, the transfers towards the exhaust, so I'll move that. So that's the intake side. The transfers towards the exhaust, they blow into the piston about the angle on both sides. So obviously like that. The ones that are closer to the carby, they're more of an angle like this. Bit of height, more of a sharper angle. So that's what you're looking for, try and match the angles. Match the angle, you get more flow. Alright, we'll do this. I've got most of my lines already worked out. I'll show you inside. Try to. Mate, you put your piston in there, square in the cylinder. Not easy one hand. Hang on guys, sit you down. Important to get square. Square to the eye best you can. Right. Put it down like that maybe. That way, yeah. So you'll see my marks inside the cylinder, the back parts. Now, it's important to make the marks where you know you can see them. Now this right here has got, get in there, it's got 2 marks, but I know which one does what. The mark, down the bottom, there's 2 nice big light marks there. One of them is in the wrong spot. And there's one down, the lowest one is in the correct spot. I marked further down. So you see that mark on the left side. I colour them in so you see that. That gets me where the marks go. So I know where to make the lines. I colour that in. Just so I know where I am. To myself. To the line. If you make a mistake, break cleaner and a bit of paper. Or earbud, cotton bud, wipe it off. So I colour it in. And now I know where the transfers open up. I can transfer this mark to the top of the piston. That line there, that line there is no good. It's one down here. So colour in where you know your transfers open up. And now I can flip that over, angle my transfers back to where they have to be. But I know the angles of the clock faces where I saw in the water. So flow your water in your cylinder, work at your angles, and you can draw a pattern on your cylinder. I'll get it done. You see what I'm talking about. Once you've got your lines, inspect you've done them and make sure they look square to each other. So disregard the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. That's one open transfer there and there. There's now one there and one here. So one there, one there, if you open up further. And you got that one there and that one there. So they should be equal to each other, but make sure you get the marks dead right. It's hard to do, guys, but you muck around, it's hard to see inside the cylinder. But take your time and get it right. Look at myself. So that one there, if you open up a bit more at the top here. About there. I'll double check, put the cylinder back in. Check my marks. Yeah, I just mark it right. So you look that way, mark above and try and get it lined up. And we'll draw a picture on top. I would have thought about this before. You get the lines in here on the piston. You transfer those lines to the side of the piston here, so you can see them visually. Way easy, then you go straight to the top. So once you've got the side done, transfer them up. They look square, line it up, little top, and you can square it up. So I had to move them a little bit, not much. And now I know where my lines sit, and they tend to be quite equal. But I'll measure it all up, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. The lower one's perfect. The one there, I'll check that one there on the side. You gotta get your lines dead right. So you can double check what you're doing. Do a line from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Measure up from the base to where you think your angle's going to be on one side. The same when you go to that angle there, it's about roughly right. Measure that point. That point will be the same intersection as that point here. The mirror image to that. So I'll say, what would that be roughly? 2 centimeters. Work this out right now. Let's see my eyeballs. My old eyeballs. So, angle will be out there. I'll mark it with a pencil or a pen. Just roughly by memory. It's about that way. So I'll mark the piston. It didn't work. Didn't mark. Right, that mark's there. So once I do a mark on my line, I do the same side like that. So they are the same. So I'll show you. Pretty sure it's pretty all right. And I'm not sure about this one here. Looks more right. So I'll go across like that. It's the part where you need artistic. I'm not very artistic. I good with my eyes, but not very artistic. I'm going to intercept that, so I'll go above that so I can see what I'm doing. I'll line through that. Straight over. This side here, do the same thing from that first point where I measured the transfers. Go like that. Have a look, see if it looks even. Yeah, it looks even, so that's good. Mark that out properly. The pop-up piston gets in the road a bit. But I'm happy the pop-up's not too violent. That's that part there. Then you want to follow the same angle on the lower one. So, what would the lower be? Hold my rule. Come down to that. Should be the same. There's the intersection there. Everything moves. Damn pop-up piston. Go like that. Same the other side. Follow the lines, follow your marks. It wouldn't shake. Alright, that's pretty alright. Need to move that over a bit more. Probably that. Need to come over just a tiny bit. Yeah, looks better. Now the upper transfer on this side were more of a shallow angle. So I'll follow that. Just doing where I think they were. I'll go in the house and double check it all. That was lesser angle. So yeah, first one is fired up. These are primary, I think. Fires up, chases the exhaust out, and the second one chases out even more so. A shallow angle. Try to hold the thing without vibrating myself. Mark there, so that's that one there. Mark the other side. Okay, that's alright, I'm happy with that. So you get a mark there. And to bring the line down, I can actually go below here so I can see what I'm doing. Copy the same thing. Get my angle right. New pen's not working properly. Bugger. Try and line it up. Okay, that looks alright. Happy with that. So I'll mark them out properly. It's what I want. Space them out. Probably a couple of mils from each other. And I'll with this. The dumper back towards the transfer. So the idea is when the fuel hits the piston, you've got that groove for the fuel to follow. And when it comes down to here, because those grooves that intersect each other, the grooves hold that fuel and air just a tiny bit longer on the piston before it goes out the exhaust, and you have a chance to burn the fuel on the piston. So I'll get this done and finish, and you can see what I mean. And after that, I'll just pour the piston windows out like normal, but that's going to be a tattooed piston. I know it looks like a mess, but I'll clean it up and show you. That's my basic marks and where I want to go. The upper ones up here, I'm not going to crisscross them. The lower ones, I'll crisscross them a bit, but they will hold more fuel and air than down here. I want more down here. The other one up here, I just like little drains to promote flow to where I want the flow to be in the cylinder. So that's what I thought I'd show you guys. It's messy, it just takes time to do it and plan, but just thought I'd show you. It's not, sometimes you see things on YouTube, it's wonderful and it's all been cleaned up, but I'm showing you what it really looks like in real life. So I'll get this done and I'll retext when I do the grooves, but they won't be deep, but I'll clean it all up with some paper towel. So you won't see all the markings, but you'll see where the marks are after I've done the grinding on it. Alright, I'll grind this piston up. Might as well share my secrets. But as I tell my kids, there's no secrets in the world. Doesn't matter what you've done, say, or whatever. Someone's done it bigger and better than you, or killed someone more than you, or whatever. So, might as well talk about stuff and not hide, share. Share is the thing. Now, that's what it looks like. Looks messy now. I'll clean it up and remark it with a pencil too. Now, what I was going to say with share stuff, when you're doing your lines, make sure you're going that way towards the edge, because you want the edge to be a nice dimple on the piston, just a tiny bit. I've done about 4 strokes like that with the lines, every one, so they're the same. When I do the other side, I spin over like that and come over like that towards the edge of the piston and keep yourself nice and straight as you can. But yeah, it's all about artistic flair. But I'll try to hold that fuel in the air a bit longer. That's why I got these other 3 lines on the bottom, trying to hold that fuel in the air. Focus camera. So I'll clean it up and I'll just a bit of brake cleaner. Like that. Clean it all up and I'll mark it with texture so you guys can see it clearly. Yeah, I'll get back to you in a sec. There you can see, that's what it's meant to look like, okay? For this particular saw, the fuel will come in and bounce off each other, go up in the cylinder itself, it comes in a cloud, but it's these microseconds where the fuel's close to the piston, it cools the piston down, but I want it to stick around and hang on the piston, and before it gets shot out the exhaust, I want it to burn in the cylinder. So you see this bottom part here, the fuel come along and tripped over by these other 3 grooves, and so if you like corrugated roads, you vibrate, you slow down, and because you slow down, it takes longer to get out. So that's the whole point, trying to keep the fuel in the cylinder so you can burn it to get more power. So I open these windows up now and put these pistons and stuff on the chainsaws so I can do the next bit. So choose your own adventure, guys. Fun chainsaws. Right, that's it. So I'll be having these pistons up here. I've done it before, but open up to the manufacturing line. That line on the edge there, just open up that so more air can go through on both sides. Just clean it up, make sure there's nothing sharp, and just make sure it's more flow, that's all. So, yeah, a high piston, that's what I end up with. That there, guys. Happy with that. So, just make sure your line always comes to the edge, because when your transfers open up, they'll improve your transfers a little bit, but also improve the way they flow, and you capture more fuel. Alright, guys, over and out. Thanks for you for watching.